Like I said earlier, Ode to Joy does not cover several of the rhythmic values that you need for your composition today. We didn't use any of the rest, nor did we use the dotted half note or the whole note. Let's take some more examples. So Ode to Joy only used a few of our note values that we've learned. For example, a quarter note, half note, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to give you one more example today using the other note values we learned, such as a whole note and a dotted half note. So, but we won't work with the eighth note yet. So here's 4 different dots, and we're going to put a different, assign a different note value to each of them. Okay, so let's say this first one is only sustained for 1 beat. So we'll put in a quarter note, and then we'll need to put in a quarter rest and a half rest. Remember, we don't use dotted half rests, so we use a quarter rest and then a half rest. Okay, this next one, let's imagine that we held it for 2 beats. So that'll be a half note. So half note, and then there'll be 2 beats of silence. So because 2 plus 2 is 4, so this is a half rest. Okay, let's imagine this next one gets 3 beats. So that'll be a dotted half note. And then we're left with just 1 beat of silence for beat 4. And then let's say that this last one is sustained. So that'll be an entire 4 beats. So that's a whole note. And then we can put in rests in the bottom. So here's our whole rest here. And then another whole rest. And then 2 more whole rests. Notice this is in the bass clef rather than the treble clef like we had in Ode to Joy. The treble clef was silent rather than the bass clef here. One last thing to keep in mind. For at least this chorus, we are not going to have notes that tie over the bar line. So if you have a rhythm like this, notate it like this, where you end the first measure with a quarter note and then follow it with a half rest at the beginning of the next measure, following that with a half note. This notation is incorrect. We do not want to notate rhythms where there is more than 4 beats to a measure. This example would have 6 beats in the measure and therefore is incorrect. Your assignment for today is to apply this to the composition you wrote in Songmaker, where everything falls on the beat like it did in Ode to Joy. There is so much that could go wrong in an assignment like this, so go slowly and be very meticulous. If you are doing this assignment in a classroom setting, I encourage you to do what we call peer review. Peer review is where you swap your finished work with another student and you check each other's work and make sure that there are no mistakes. If you see a mistake, mark it and then discuss it with your peer after you have both had a chance to look over the examples that each of you have written. Do this a few times if your class period allows it. Enjoy. You have almost finished a completed composition.